Hi, I wanted to give a quick update on a few things. First, I wanted to thank everybody that participated in our fundraising efforts this year. We still have merchandise available, and you can find those links on our Facebook page. And don't mind my cat, he's going to just be up in my business. But the money that we have earned so far, we actually took some of that and took advantage of some Black Friday sales and got some really good deals on things that we're going to need for the Babyland project. Right now, because of the weather, there's not much we can do. A lot of the products that we're going to use for this, the weather has to be over 50 degrees. So, and the ground's getting too hard to dig. So a lot of stuff is just going to be on the burner until spring, and there's just not much we can do about that. But I thought it would be fun to show you what we did get. And I'm so excited that we hit up a really good sale, because this is not the kind of stuff that you can go down to Walmart and put in your shopping cart. This is very specialized stuff, and normally it's not on sale. Okay, so the first thing we have here is a very fancy water sprayer. And I should say too, all of this came from Atlas Preservation, which is where we get a lot of our products. Everything on that site is basically, it's good stuff. It's, the best stuff on the market for this kind of work. So I know when I order something from that website, I don't have to question, well, gosh, should I use this or should I not? It's going to be quality. So we got this great sprayer, and what's special about this is it has a battery in it, so you don't have to manually pump it. If you're just doing a small project, this is overkill, but if you're doing rows and rows of headstones, this is really going to save your arms and save you time. It's a little bit of a luxury, but at 20% off, it is something we will use year after year. And, it'll help us old ladies out. So that was product number one. Then we'll see what's in the box. I haven't opened this box, so this is all going to be a surprise to me too. So we also, we have epoxy putty. This is what we would use to reattach pieces together. There's sometimes where you're not going to want to use epoxy, but a lot of cases it is what you would do. And this is a epoxy putty, which is a little easier to work with and control than the liquids, which can kind of go a lot of places you might not want them to go. And once again, this is not an easy epoxy to find. There's another thing of it, and we got a small sprayer. It's just good to have a variety of different sizes, and that way if we have several people working, we can have several hands busy, and these are very inexpensive, so that just gives us more to work with. We have some natural fiber brushes. A lot of times you can get away with using brushes that have nylon for the bristles, but I find that these foam up nicer, and they'll probably last longer, and on very fragile stones, this would be the way to go over a nylon. If you're working on a sandstone, and some are not, you're just not going to touch it all, you'll just spray and leave them alone. But on one that can handle a little bit of scrubbing, this is the way to go, is with a natural bristle brush. And we got 2 of those. And then down here, this big, heavy stuff is setting compound. It looks kind of like, I don't know, grout or like sealer you would see around like a bathtub. They still use this stuff on modern stones. It's just what you would use to seal around, like putting the stone onto the base. And that is super heavy. So when you are putting that stuff down, if you're doing it right, you're going to use the spacers. That way, when you set the big heavy stone on the base, all that stuff doesn't just completely smush out. A little's going to smush out, but you don't want all of it to. So these spacers will provide a little bit of a cushion for that. This is lead tape. We'll cut it down into little squares and, you know, put it on the corners, usually is how it goes. So yeah, this is a lot of stuff that we are going to need, and we got 2 lots of that stuff. But there is one thing that is going to be our bread and butter tool, and it's gigantic, so bear with me a second. Okay, I had to pause that because there was just no good way to get this out of the box. But basically, it is a giant lever bar. And this is going to be our bread and butter tool. We are going to use this more than anything else because, you know, lifting and moving these stones around is all about leverage. So the other side has a pointy end. It's still all wrapped in plastic, so I'm not going to bore you with that. But this thing is about as tall as I am, and we'll have a collection of these eventually, but they are kind of pricey because it's heavy and it's solid metal. So yeah, this was probably my the most exciting thing because it's the tool that we need and we're going to use the most. So yeah, that's our haul from Atlas Preservation, and can't wait to get out in the field and start using this stuff.